to the Twist Out Cancer podcast, which delves into the emotional journeys of those touched by cancer, offering a platform for survivors, caregivers, previvors, and loved ones to share their experiences. Through intimate conversations, this podcast explores the power of creativity and connection in navigating the challenges of cancer. Guests will discuss the transformative impact of Twist Out Cancer's unique programs and highlight the resilience of the human spirit. We're so happy you're here. Let's get into it. Hey there, and welcome to Twist Out Cancer's podcast featuring Brushes with Cancer Spotlights. I'm Jenna Ben-Schercher, founder and CEO of Twist Out Cancer. And today we are talking with inspiration Crystal and artist Joelle, who are participating in the upcoming Brushes with Cancer winter program. We're going to talk to them about their involvement with Twist and how they became participants in the Brushes with Cancer program, how their connection unfolded and developed, and what they continue carrying with them from their experience together. Welcome, Crystal and Joelle. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's so nice to see you. Crystal, I'm going to start with you. If you could give us a little bit of background about who you are and your story, where you're located, all of that.
Sure. So my name is Crystal Bichalski, or Crystal B, as it's easier to say. I'm a professional astrologer. I have a full practice, operate out of my offices in Montclair, New Jersey, but I live in Verona, New Jersey. That's where I'm talking to you from my home right now, home office. But I have an office in Montclair. Again, I'm a professional astrologer. So, a lot of the world I view has a lot to do with the planets, and it's just part of my philosophy. On August 2nd of 2024, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 2. And I was grateful that it was, an earlier stage, but I still, it totally shocked my world. I was having symptoms from the beginning of 2024, but it took, until August to get my diagnosis. I had 2 surgeries to remove the cancer, and I started chemotherapy in September, and I finished at the end of 2024. So I'm in the healing phase after chemotherapy. I'm still, not 100% myself by any way, but I'm getting, now that the chemo is behind me, I'm getting stronger. Joelle, who's in Chicago, she has been with me through the process, and we have another mutual friend who I'm very close with. And the thing is that when Joelle asked me to be a part of Twist Out Cancer, I was so touched and so excited because I love Joelle. I love our connection together. It is astrological, but we have a closeness and a bond. We've met each other in person. I've been to Chicago. I'm coming back to Chicago in March, but Joelle has been with me and checking in with me, and I can't express the gratitude I have for her and how she cared about my progress, and and I'm so grateful for this experience because it's getting us closer. And I'm a creative. I speak a picture language, so me and art. I don't label myself an artist. I'm a reader of symbols. So to work with an artist in this way and bring the cancer journey and story to life has been extraordinary.
How beautiful. Crystal, thank you.
Thank you.
Joelle, can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. So as Crystal said, I am in Chicago, in the suburbs of Chicago. Jen and I grew up in the same town.
Nice.
I have been a part of Twist Out Cancer since 2016 or 2017. And I've done everything from, I've co-chaired a couple events, I've mentored, I've been an artist. I believe this is my 6th time.
I think that's right. It's amazing.
And I've been on the host committee. I've kind of done everything I can do at this point. And so for Crystal, we've known each other for, I think, over almost 3 years. This summer it'll be years. And I remember when I first met her in person, it was like surreal. I mean, it was like, here's someone you've talked to, once a month, maybe more, and to finally see them in person and like hug them, it felt really good. And it was at that time when Crystal had started to not feel good, but like I didn't know, and our owl friend connection didn't know. And then I remember when she told me what was going on, and she's been there for me through so many things and like really prepared me. I guess the best way I feel like I can describe you is like, you've changed my view of the world, and you've prepared me for the jolting experiences or bad things that come, and how to be prepared in a way that I don't think I would have ever been able to be prepared if I didn't have you in my life. And when I found out, from you about your diagnosis, I remember physically just kind of like the blood like left my body for a second type thing. We've all been touched by cancer in some way, shape, or form. I personally have not experienced it, but I've lost people to it. And I just remember knowing like you were going to fight it. I didn't know, like at that point, we didn't know the diagnosis fully, right? And so it was just like, she's going to fight this. She's like such a strong person, and very much like you, Jenna, actually, just like a fighter, like a warrior. And I knew no matter what, she was going to be okay. And that sounds maybe strange, but I also was just like constantly stalking her to make sure she was okay. And like every time I thought of her, I would like send her a little something. And Crystal loves hummingbirds, so if I'd see a hummingbird thing, I would get it for her. And I remember just like being very worried about her at one point. And actually, I needle pointed her a hummingbird because I just wanted her to know that I was like thinking of her. And even though I was far away, as her friend at this point, we were very close, just like as a reminder that she's loved by so many people. And so when she was just finishing up her chemo, I asked her if she would want to do this. And I didn't really know what her answer would be, but I know so much like about what she does. And like, to me, this was my way of being able to try to give her just like anything I could of what she's given me. And so this journey with both of us has been amazing. I wouldn't be able to describe it if you asked me to put it in words. I think I put it on the canvas.
Crystal, what has it been like for you being in this role with Joelle, serving as your artist?
So
it's time too, I mean, you're fresh out of treatment. I would imagine that it was a lot.
And I do want to go back in time to when Joelle asked me, like, I immediately said yes. I didn't know exactly what it was going to entail, but I just felt it in my body. I was like, yes, I'm in. I think also going through cancer gives you a fearlessness to try new things because you just grapple with the idea of life and, experiences and how long do I have and all this kind of stuff. So it's given me a zest for like new experiences and a deeper fearlessness even. But I didn't know what to expect. I know Joelle so deeply because we work together, but I had no idea. But I must tell you, it's been it's a healing experience for me. It's been vulnerable too because I don't really share a lot of my personal life with people. So, and cancer in itself has been incredibly humbling and exposed my vulnerabilities at the deepest. But in working with Joelle, it did put my vulnerabilities front and center, but it also allowed me to talk about symbolism and creativity and things with art that make me feel good and alive and hopeful. And so she's given me a new spark with this, and also like the beauty of, even though experience is so difficult going through cancer, there's also beautiful things that come out of it. And like this twist out cancer is something that I was not expecting. And it's really become something that I'll always remember as a huge healing part of this journey.
It's beautiful. Joelle, for you, I mean, you're a seasoned artist now with brushes, and this has been quite different because typically in the program, we really focus on unexpected intersections. So connecting folks that don't know each other, have never connected before. We've had a few like one-off experiences with people that we love and we really trust that are connected to someone special. And we want to make sure that they have the experience of going through the program. But because you've done it all the different ways, I'm curious how this was different for you and what it has meant to you.
Not that every other experience I've had with all the inspirations has not been life-changing. It's been life-changing in different ways because you see with Crystal, I'm also sharing and we're connecting and she's helped me heal from things. Right. And so now having the roles reversed where like she was sharing with me, we were connected. Right. But I think and I hope that like being a part of the beginning of her healing process, is twofold. One, like the power of art therapy is huge. It's just huge. But I think the fact that I have known her for so long and then was on the other side of the conversation. Well, as soon as we started our conversation, I started sketching stuff down, right? Like I knew before I started painting, I knew her favorite color is purple. This is just an example, right?
I was wondering about your nail color.
That's blue for Israel.
Oh, but it looks
there's probably paint in my hands because I literally finished my piece today. Our piece today. So I think like having some of the stuff and the way my brain works is there's a whole committee up there that can do a lot of different things at one time. I think I went in with what I thought I was going to do. And then actually collaborating with Crystal. I mean, we spoke 1 to 3 times, I think a week since this project. And like, even like the texting like was atypical, I think because I felt like I could text her and it wasn't, someone I was going to be bothering so much, but we truly collaborated in ways where even last night I texted her a symbol just to confirm that was in her head what she felt was the right symbol for something. It's just been like, it's been so powerful. And I think that's a word that goes like really parallel with what Crystal does. Just like what is so powerful. And from brushes and twists, the power of connection is everything, right? The fact that we connected and Crystal can explain to you maybe like even just our signs. I sent an email to friends or people that I knew that were into astrology, calling Crystal a soul sister because truly that's what she feels like. And the other day, what did you say to me?
Well, in astrology, and again, we did not, this came about very, magically, let's say. It wasn't orchestrated or it took me by surprise. But I never expected to work with Joelle in this capacity. But in thinking deeper about our astrology and how our planets are aligned, I don't want to make it an astrology lesson, but what I want to say is there's markers in our planetary story that have to do with our souls and who are the people that who we learn from. And Joelle and I are perfect sync ups because she's a Libra and I'm a Pisces, but my North Node, which is where I'm going, my soul, where my soul is going, it's in Libra. And so like Joelle is teaching me, just like I've helped her, but like she's helping my soul grow. And this experience is part of that. Like, and I think with healing, especially from difficult disease, your soul does grow. But we need people. It's not a solo job, even though so many of us want to. I know I'm very guilty of that. Like, I'm going to do this myself. I'm very independent. The the process of collaboration and being vulnerable and letting somebody in, it does help your soul to grow. You know, we have astrological proof that we're soul sisters, but even for others, like I think when you have a synchronicity with people or you are vulnerable with people and let them in, like beautiful things come out of it. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
It's also just, it's been like a true joy. Every time I go down and work on the piece, I'm so excited. And Crystal was cut off the other day. I was like, you're not seeing it anymore. So just so you know.
I don't know.
So like, you know, to be able to be with her when she comes in and have her see like what we truly collaborated, it is just, it's everything.
So, Crystal, why did you want to wait till the event to see the piece? Was that something that you decided you wanted to do, or how did it work out?
I think it was Joelle who's led.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Joelle has been I've taken Joelle's lead on that because she's more seasoned, you know, like and then when I was on the group meeting, how August was talking about that when you first see your piece, I was getting excited about that moment, you know what I mean? Of like,
totally.
and Joelle said it's better in person. And I want to be patient to wait for that moment of like seeing it for real because everything is different in person.
Totally. I'm so excited that you're going to be able to be there in person and that you're coming in for it. It makes such a difference to be also like to have that moment, but then to be surrounded by this community of people that been in your shoes or have experienced similar things. And it's it's an event that focuses on storytelling, and we definitely focus on things that are hard and difficult, but there's such joy and resilience that's on full display in that room. And so I think it's a really important part of the program to kind of round everything out, because the two of you have been working together now for a couple months, and then to be able to see that you're a part of a larger community is really beautiful.
And just to add to that, like, again, I'm still learning only, you know, I'm still learning about cancer and everything. But what I can tell you is that it can be very lonely when you get your diagnosis. And I definitely have had a lot of love around me, but there is a loneliness to it, even in sharing. Because I was reflecting and thinking about the difficulty it was for me to even tell people that I had cancer. Like it was so humbling and so scary to have these conversations over and over again, which I had to do. It was part of the process. But to become part of a community where there are other survivors and other people who've been really touched by this disease, it really warms my heart and makes me feel connected. Because it took away some of that loneliness that it comes with cancer, because not everybody does understand. It's such a deep, you know, you go to hell and back. And I think the people who understand the hell that you've been in, you know, like, and I hate to, you know, but it is that intense, but the rise is also equally as important. And for me, like coming to the event and being part of this, it's really helping this experience come full circle to depths of down to the, you know, you soar above, because you do get out of it. And I have decided not to be upset with my cancer. I wanted to make peace with it. And I feel because I'm doing that, it's giving me back a lot of joy.
That's beautiful.
If that makes sense also.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. I really do. I found personally with my own cancer experience that it was a very isolating and lonely experience. And you're desperate for connection with other people that have been there, you know, because I sort of felt that I was much closer to the folks that had a cancer diagnosis or had been really intimately touched by the disease than even some of my family and friends that I had known forever. For a while, I felt a real disconnect because, you know, it's like going to war. It's like it's traumatic. And so being able to connect with other people that have a shared trauma in a way can be very powerful. I'm so happy that this has been a positive experience. I'm not surprised because Joelle is a treasure, but it's
She is.
so nice for me to hear what it's been like for you. And I think it's so interesting that there's been a real role reversal in this, that the way that
Yes.
you knew each other is very different. Like your interactions were very different, and that Joelle was able to sort of hold that space for you and to hear you and to really receive the journey that you've been on. I mean, what a privilege to be able to.
Also, what she did, which was because again, I speak a symbolic language. So art is, I'm not an artist, I'm an astrologer, but I value art so deeply.
Yeah.
And Joelle and I, like, she really wanted my thought, and like she respected and honored the symbolism, how I, feel about symbols. And her ideas were so synchronistic to like when she was like, I had this idea, and I was like, oh my God, I love this idea. And it just like, it was so beautiful, and it still is beautiful, but how we were on the same page with our symbolic, kind of putting it all together, and how the piece has turned out. I don't know what the grand finale looks like, but I know that I'm going to love it because I've loved everything I've seen from day one.
I just want to add also, like I said, I documented everything, but Crystal went to Maui when was it, Crystal? In the summer.
Well, I've been there several times.
No, but the most recent.
Oh, in April of 2024. That was the last time.
And we FaceTimed there. Do you remember that?
I
Do you remember?
yes.
And, talk about like, I don't know, meant to be, but we ended up going there over the Christmas break, right? So had said yes to the canvas, if you will, right before that. And I was sending her pictures from there. The whales are like a huge thing right now, right?
Yeah.
And every time I saw something, I sent her a picture. I mean, I spoke to her a lot there, but I knew before I got there that I was going to be bringing back a lot of random things because I wanted to incorporate them in the piece. And we were with friends there, and they're like, you're collecting so many shells or sand or like whatever. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's for Crystal's feast. And like anyone that's close to me knows who Crystal is, right? Anyone that cares knows who Crystal is. And I mean, lots and lots of stuff, which you guys, will see, but it was serendipitous in a way. We were talking about this the other day because I was there, and now Crystal's gonna go back.
Yeah.
She's, you tell.
Going before, again, I'm very connected to Hawaii and Maui, and I love the water, but I'm very connected to the whales. And again, I love symbolism. The whale is very powerful to me symbolically. And me and my daughter are going March 5th, and we're flying back. We'll be back right before, and then I'll fly to Chicago. So it's like, it's really, and again, I'm not going to surprise anything, but our piece does connect with the water and the whale. And it's even more special to me that I'm going to Hawaii right before I see the final piece.
It's really interesting though, because she was there, then I was there. And now she said after she was done with chemo, she wanted to go there. And that was like her goal.
It's like my celebration of I made it through. And what's really interesting is when Joelle was there last, that was when I was my sickest because I had just finished my last chemo, and that really took me down, and I needed a lot of inner resilience to get through that time. And that Joelle was sending me pictures. It was like hope for me. Like I can make it out of this darkness. I can. It was like really great. It just helped me keep fighting.
I didn't know that. I knew you were sick because I believe we were supposed to do a Zoom, Crystal, and you're like, it really hit me hard this time. And I think like every day or every other day I would send her a picture. And on the last day, I looked up, it was like the last sunset, and I looked up in the sky. You want to see the picture?
I think I remember this.
It was absolutely wild. I looked up in the sky. I don't know what made me look up at that moment. And I'm sorry, I should have had this prepared, but I didn't know that we were going to do this. How can you see? Shoot. No, you can't
Can't
see.
see it. But you know what? Can you send it to me? We can incorporate it.
It's a whale's tail made out of clouds.
Whoa. Crazy.
I wish I could show it to you. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's the tail and the body. And I sent it to Crystal. And I was just like, this is some kind of sign, symbolism, something. But at that moment, I looked up, I got a picture, and then it was gone. The clouds had moved. But I don't know, just going back to what Crystal said, and Jen, I think like everything that Twist and Brushes does is you're sharing your story, Crystal, and like it's a story of hope, right? Like you're so strong and you're like this dynamo warrior. And Jenna's like this dynamo warrior. And she started this incredible organization that has connected people in so many ways. Like I still talk to like the first person I mentored, who's also on the board now. She is in chemo right now. And I told Jenna the other day, I'm so excited. We have a lunch date in April. And this was the first person I ever talked to when I started with Brushes. Like I could tell you where I was. She had just started a business, or she was gonna start a business. So I knew the name of her company before it even started. And to me, this has just been like really powerful. Like even just being able to be there for you. And I'm forever grateful. This has forever changed me. I don't know how you guys did it. Like just fighting so hard, and Crystal, watching you battle this, like really go to battle, has been just, I don't even have a good word. I love you so much. And
Thank you.
I'm so
I love you too.
grateful that like I could do a little something for you.
And it's meant a lot. Again, the symbolism, just how much she's cared. She's just really helped me to rise above. It's a big part of it, you know? So, and it makes me very happy. Like when I see the colors and how we talk about the meaning, and like
Even the title.
I know
We came up with it together. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see you both in person. And I'm so grateful, Crystal, that you signed up for this and took the risk. And Joelle, thank you for being there for your friend and for playing a very different role this time around with her.
Definitely never experienced this as a friend. I mean, I consider myself to be a good friend, but this is something I'm so sad why I did it, but I'm so grateful that I was given the opportunity to do this with you. Really, I am.
Me too. Thank you. It's really, again, cancer can be so dark, but it does offer a light, and this is one of those powerful lights.
You're a bright light.
To our listeners, thanks for tuning in to the Twist Out Cancer podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.